So hello, I'm Will McCullough,
Deena McCullough.
and we are the owners and brokers in charge of Century 21 Coastal Town Realty, located here in the Beaufort area. And although we've done real estate together side by side for over 25 years at this point, a lot of folks, we always have fun sharing the story of how we've met. So I thought we'd just take a moment today and kind of share that. It's a fun story, and we always like sharing it ourselves. So I'll start off if that's okay. It was June. No, not June. I've already ruined it. It was December 30th of 1995, and I was at that time. I was a drill instructor stationed here at Parris Island, and my brother lives up in Northwest Pennsylvania, and I had a couple of days off, believe it or not, as a drill instructor. And I was driving from Beaufort, South Carolina, to up near Erie, Pennsylvania, about a 13-hour drive to go see my brother and spend New Year's Eve with him. And so I was, well, that's what I was doing. So driving from Beaufort to Erie, Pennsylvania. Meanwhile,
I was living in Cleveland Heights, Ohio at the time, and my dad lives in Florida. So I was visiting him and my brother over Christmas. So I was on my way back home on the same interstate as Will.
which that same interstate was, by this time of the day, you leave South Carolina, you head north, eventually you go out 26 and up 77. So at some point, it's getting a little bit later in the day. I was on Interstate 77. I think I just crossed from the South Carolina border into North Carolina. And
We'd been kind of like traveling the same speed for a while. So I noticed this one car was around me traveling the same speed for a while, but the sun was starting to set and I could see his hair from the back. And I've always liked the guy with the tighter haircut. So I got in the left lane just to check him out. And when I looked over to look at him, he looked over at me and smiled, and I was busted. So I waved, because what else am I going to do? I'm staring at this guy.
And you got to remember, this is 1995. So this is before cell phones or anything like that. So we kind of stayed the same speed for a while. Remember, she's going from Florida to Cleveland, Ohio. I'm going from Beaufort, South Carolina to somewhere in Pennsylvania. We have no idea who each other is, but we're kind of staying the same speed. And at one point, after an hour or so of driving, I needed to get gas. And I was in front of her, and I thought, what the heck? So I put my window down and I kind of motioned over, kind of making it clear that I had to get off for a moment. And she followed me. So I pulled into the gas station, got gas, and
Well, I stayed in my car because I didn't need gas. But I put my window down a little bit, and I could see in my side mirror as he's walking up, and I thought, oh my gosh, he's so hot.
So I walked back to her car, obviously now not knowing at the point that she apparently thought I was hot. And I introduced myself and explained to her that I wasn't an axe murderer. And we talked for a little bit and, got back out on the road and drove for another couple hours or so. And now it's getting later in the day and, kind of hungry, and decided that we would, I motioned over again, and we stopped and ate dinner together. So we had dinner together. Any highlights from that part that you remember, or just no? Other than it was a great conversation and you thought I was hot. Yeah. I thought the same thing, and I continue to, by the way. But anyhow, so hours passed, and eventually, believe it or not, you get to the point where we have to go our separate ways. We're up near the Ohio-Pennsylvania border, and she's got to veer off and go towards Cleveland. I've got to go this way. So we pulled over on the side of the road. We exchanged phone numbers, because once again, at that time, you didn't carry it in your pocket. She went her way to Cleveland. I went my way to up where I needed to go in Pennsylvania. We talked on the phone every night. And then about 2 weeks later, so she's living in Cleveland, and I'm back now in Beaufort. 2 weeks later, after talking every night on the phone, we decided to meet halfway. So we spent a weekend together in West Virginia. And then Berkeley, West Virginia. And then we kept talking on the phone every night, and maybe 2 months.
It was around February 20th to 24th.
So not quite 2 months later, she moved down. We lived in Sin for a year, and we have been married here now almost 29 years together ever since. We got 2 kiddos. One's 25, one's 18. And like I say, we work together side by side. And that is how we met. And the moral of that story is, always talk to strangers. There you go. That's how we met, and that's why we're here.